James Fabricius and Leo Livings are on the front row, with Jos Huschka and Fraser Anderson on row number 2, with Marley Fisher and George Swire on row 3. Then it's Arthur Farrett and Sebastian Clark, Logan Rolfe and Buddy Hugo, with Morgan Weston and Soreen Gallagher on row number 6. Jack Holmes starts 13th, with Alfie Mayer in 14th, Lewis Herbertson and Fabian Gandhock on row number 8, Elliot Dimolo and Alice Fairclough on row number 9. Then it's Logan Jones and Harry Quintock, Hector Dickey and Jack Hutchinson, your 22 runners in our Micromatch class. Sebastian Clark in the 50, in front of Buddy Hugo and the 41 machine of Soreen Gallagher. Lewis Herbertson in the 53, the 71 of Elliot Dimolo and the 73 of Logan Jones, in front of the 21 of Hector Dickey. So they make their way down the grid. Some junior Rotax has just been recovered back into the pit lane. So we're going to make our way back down the other side of the grid.
Hello.
Just going to have a quick look at see whether we've got some classified results from some of our other finals earlier on today, as we wait for the carts to be recovered back into pit lane. Looks like we're still waiting on everything from Mighty Bambino down. That was clear, with the exception of a 5-second penalty applied to Ansel Murray for gaining an unfair advantage. That promotes Ralph Martin up into second place. Those two had a coming together, so that redresses the situation in that race. So Junior's just being recovered back into the pit lane. Ethan Batt's cart just being pushed back down, start finish. You can see that just in the distance. So we've got one cart of Ethan Bath just being run back in. So the final of the day should be good to go in a few moments' time as they make their way out onto the grid. The circuit is now clear, so we should be good to go. And we did have a few carts coming all the way from the far end. Ollie Naylor's machine needing to be recovered. Still got the very difficult job in the commentary box of picking the driver of the day. There's plenty to think about when it comes to that. And we are out of the dummy grid as the field rolls round. This Micromax final. James Fabricius then with 72 points from the day. Leo Livings with 71. Very evenly matched front row between the two of them. Look for George Schweier as well from 6th place. He qualified in 6th for this final, despite as well having a retirement, which is a great effort for George Schweier. So as they make their way through the complex of corners at the far end of the track. So at the moment we are not in a 2x2 formation by any stretch of the imagination. And, it's going to be a false start because Leo Livings definitely wasn't alongside James Fabricius at the front of this one. And the field now will make their way round for a second attempt. So let's see if we can get this one going. The field already seems to be better in a 2x2 formation round the far end of the circuit. So that will have everybody nicely in as to where they were. Down the hanger straight they go. They're now into a 2x2 formation. Just got to be nice and slow. Into the tram lines they go. Looks like we're good to go racing, and we are. And Hushka sweeps round the outside of Leo Livings as he follows James Fabricius through. Fabricius then leading now then from Josh Hushka as they head down towards the double left-hander at Surtees. Behind them it's Leo Livings. Then it's looks like it's George Schweier up into 4th place with a good start. Confirm that in a few moments' time. It is, because Marley Fisher with the red cart and the black nose in 5th place. So it looks like Fraser Anderson's been shuffled back. He has into 7th as it's Arthur Farrer coming up into P6. Down the back straight they go then. Down the inside goes. Oh, and Fabricius is off. It looks like he's just outbraked himself into the bottom hairpin. Down here at Raymond's, we're going to catch it again in a few moments' time. Fabricius, who looked like he had a bit of a gap to Josh Hushka behind, looks over his shoulder into the braking zone, tags the brakes a little bit too late, and Fabricius spins himself out of the lead just as Hushka gets overtaken for the lead at the same time. So it looks like it's Leo Livings now who leads the way from George Schweier and Josh Hushka, your top 3. Then it's Arthur Farrer in 4th place, being pushed along by Marley Fisher. Anderson trying to get alongside Fisher, scrubs off too much speed. Sebastian Clark in the background. And now at the moment, the 2 gear-up drivers just looking to push away. Don't want to take each other out in the early phase of this race. To Leo Livings and George Schweier. Schweier's going to move to the inside, though, early. And George Schweier is through down the inside of Leo Livings. Josh Hushka, 3rd place. Arthur Farrer in P4 from Marley Fisher. Into the Dell, right-hander at Diggers, the field concertinaing together. Anderson's got a good run to the inside there, looked like a Fisher, but then had to back out. So they make their way through. Keep an eye out for Fabricius coming back through this field, see where he can go. Hushka down the inside, trying to move on Leo Livings. Livings with the door closed firmly, and now Hushka's going to have an opportunity, and he is overtaken by Arthur Farrer. Ran wide, and Farrer managed to move his way through. Keep an eye on the nose cones, though, down the inside. Anderson puts a move down the inside of Marley Fisher by the look of it. See whether he's come out in 5th place. He has. Great from Fraser Anderson. Solid weekend for Anderson here in the Cadet Kart Championship, moving himself up into 5th place, just behind Josh Huschke. Out onto the hanger straight once again, the top two, George Schweier and Leo Livings, pushing away with Arthur Farrer just behind. Then it's going to be Josh Huschke. Arthur Farrer with the fastest lap in 3rd place, trying to hunt down Schweier and Livings in front. Fisher is 6th with Clark, Rolf, Hugo and Gandhock up inside the top 10. James Fabricius recovering up into 17th place in this final. So from pole position, carried too much speed down there into the hairpin at the bottom end of the track at Raymond's final corner. So over the line they come, still with 8 minutes to go, a normal heat length of course. So it's Schweier and Livings from Farrer. Logan Rolfe in 7th place with the fastest lap of the race, Huschke 4th, Anderson 5th, then it's Fisher in front of Rolfe, Clark, Hugo and Gandhock. Thank you of course to all of our sponsors who have been cycling through into the top right hand corner, including our title sponsor, the Junior Saloon Kart Championship, along with Fibre King, Optimum Motorsport, Exim, MHR, KKC and Tillett Racing Seats as well, which you'll see in a few moments time on the banners on the right hand side as they come all down the back straight, which I definitely did not read out of the commentary box window. George Schweier and Leo Livings continue to battle it out at the front, and now it looks like it could well be Schweier still leading from Livings. The two of them, the numbers on the side of the kart with plenty of rubber on, not making it at all easy to pick out in the commentary box. Arthur Farrer just behind with Josh Huschke and Fraser Anderson 4th and 5th. Logan Rolfe, Marley Fisher, Sebastian Clark, Buddy Hugo and Fabian Gandhock. Look over the shoulder from Farrer in 3rd place, Huschke just behind. We've got a massive gaggle of karts there behind Alice Fairclough in 12th place in the blue helmet, with Jack Holmes, Morgan Weston, Lewis Herbertson and James Fabricius right on the back of this now in the 91 machine. They're 3 wide down the back straight. Going towards him, Fabricius is going to try and do 3 into one corner. I think he's only going to end up getting 1. Might not even be that. He got down the inside though, and then was just squeezed too tightly to the inside. He's going to have to do some work. Down the inside he goes of Morgan Weston for James Fabricius, trying to work his way back through inside the top 10, trying to get up there. Going to have to work his way through, and down the inside of 2 he goes. The 36 is going to try and come back at him down the inside. That's Jack Holmes, and he does so. I think it may well only be a matter of time though before Fabricius finds a way through, and indeed he does, into the first right-hander down there at the Dell, and he is through. Sets off now in sight of Alice Fairclough, who is in 11th place. Fabricius trying to wrestle his way back towards the top 10. Still got 5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. At the front, George Schweier sets the fastest lap of the race from Leo Livings and Arthur Farrer, with Josh Huschke and Fraser Anderson still your top 5. It's been pretty much the status quo since the beginning of this race, with Schweier, Livings, Farrer, Huschke and Anderson the top 5. Then Logan Rolfe, who set some early pace early on, needs to find half a second to get up onto the back of Fraser Anderson. Leaders starting to spread out a little bit. This is where George Schweier could do with a few more kart lengths to make this one comfortable. Head down behind the steering wheel, down the back straight. Pushing away. Just trying to find his way through. Is in the background. Sebastian Clark gets down the inside of Marley Fisher. That one is for 6th place or 7th place. There we are on the screen. In front of Buddy Hugo and Fabian Gandhock. Alice Fairclough and a charging James Fabricius trying to come back through. The last lap was 0.6 of a second quicker than the driver in front, so continuing to push, and then not too far in front will be Gandhock and Hugo. So certainly could get towards 9th place. It's going to be a big ask to get onto the back of Marley Fisher in front. So he's got another 3 seconds to go. Leading duo have migrated back together once again. The gap 3/10 on the previous lap. Hushka now swarming all over the back of Arthur Farrer. Trying to find a way through. Was tight out of the final corner. Just trying to find a different line to get alongside Farrer over the start-finish line. Fabricius has managed to find a way past Alice Fairclough for 11th place. Now sets off only a few tenths behind Fabian Gandhock. Going to look out the window to see if he's managed to find a way through. He's right on the back, although it looks like Alice Fairclough has wrestled the place back from Fabricius. So Fabricius now getting into the realms of where drivers are going to be defending a little bit harder against him. Down the inside of Fairclough, he goes into the final corner, just looking out the com-box window. He has indeed finally managed to make that one stick, although we thought that earlier on. Fairclough managed to get her way back through. And they came over the line on the previous lap. Fabian Gandhock now in front of the two of them. It doesn't look like that even with them battling, they've taken too much time out of each other. Swire's opened up a gap again from Leo Livings. They were less than a tenth when they came over the line last time, although as you can see on the camera, it looks a lot more than that as they head out onto the back straight. Could well just be that Livings is very, very good round this final corner and closes up as they head down towards Raymond. In the background, we can see them making their way through. That's the 32 of Logan Rolfe with Sebastian Clark just behind them, Marley Fisher. Logan Rolfe has managed to move his way through into 6th place. It looked like there was a change there on the timing, although it doesn't show it up or down on the actual timing screen. So still with 1 minute and 50 to go. George Schweier opening up the gap to 0.2 of a second with the fastest lap of the race as well. 49.072, 0.2 quicker than Leo Livings behind on that previous lap. It's still Swire from Living. Then it's Farrer, Hushka and Anderson in this battle for 3rd place. Anderson in 5th, still got a bit of a gap, a comfortable one at least, back to Logan Rolfe, Sebastian Clark and Marley Fisher. Then behind them it's Buddy Hugo, who now has James Fabricius right behind him. Fabian Gandhock having been overtaken, now coming under pressure from Alice Fairclough and the 36 of Jack Holmes, who's closed in as well. Still 1 minute and 4 to go. Laps timed in the 50-second mark, so there's still plenty of time for things to change at the front, because we've got 3 laps here in this Micro Max final. It's going to be 16 laps. Leaders have once again come back together, Leo Livings and George Schweier down the back straight, and they have got some lap traffic in front of them of Logan Jones in the 73 to navigate. And they're going to catch just in the exit of the hook, I think, here. So the 2 gear-up drivers going to have to work together to find a way through the lap traffic. Do it cleanly as well. Swire and Livings into the double apex left, down at the far end of the circuit. Lap traffic in front, and they go through nice and cleanly down the inside they go. Doesn't cost either of them too much time, although James Fabricius with the fastest lap of the race in P10, closing in on Buddy Hugo in front. Naya could well already have found a way through, and he has, so James Fabricius back up into 9th place. Swire, Livings, Farrer and Hushka, your top 4. This is the leading duo. This one's going to get tasty now as the last lap board is out here at Llandow. The final lap of round number 3. George Schweier, Leo Livings. Which of these 2 gear-up drivers are going to take the victory here? Or will it be Arthur Farrer taking advantage of the leading duo battling it out in the final few corners of this race? Heading down towards McWerthers for the final time. Keep an eye out on the background as well for Farrer and Husker. They're still battling out over 3rd place. Swire, Livings into the right-hander. Farrer's there in 3rd. Husker's through as well. on the lap traffic into the Dell for the final time. The right-hander for Diggers. Can Livings get a good run out of the corner? Swire immediately comes to the inside to try and defend off Leo Livings. Hard on the brakes. Livings sends it from an absolute mile back. Drag race to the line. Leo Livings takes the victory from George Swire, Arthur Farrer, Jos Huschke and Fraser Anderson. Your top 5 from Logan Rolfe, Sebastian Clark, Marley Fisher, James Fabricius and Buddy Hugo. That's your top 10. Here we go with one of the best overtakes you will see from Leo Livings. Late on the brakes, dives right down the inside. I tell you now, watching out of the commentary box window, he was 4 kart lengths back when he sent that down the inside, stamped on the brakes, and more impressively, got it stopped in order to get the run out of the corner, and Leo Livings takes victory by less than half a tenth of a second from George Swire. What a way to end the weekend here at Llandow. Leo Livings, George Swire and Arthur Farrer, your top 3 from Jos Huschke and Fraser Anderson, completing the top 5. Logan Rolfe, Sebastian Clark, Marley Fisher, James Fabricius and Buddy Hugo rounding out the top 10 here in the south of Wales. What an ending to the day. What a weekend it's been for round number 3 of the Bambino Cadet and Junior Kart Championship here from the south of Wales. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our kind sponsors, Marshall's, the team behind the scenes that never really get any credit for putting on a fantastic race weekend, the medical team for when we needed them for coming to our assistance as well. Thank you for watching here from Llandow in the south of Wales. We'll be back in early July for round number 4 from Fulbeck in Lincolnshire before we head to Clay Pigeon and Wilton Mill at the end of the season. Thank you for joining us here on the Alpha Live channel. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, at least for that last overtake as well into the final corner. I've been David Sullivan. I'm going to go and catch my breath. What a weekend. Thank you for joining us.